Giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shem Rakakadash, double Honda Sedels of GMS. Also, salutations to all the Akim out there twisting this truth, and also Shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect. And I don't know what I'm going to title this yet, but it's an article based off AI able to read your mind, which when you go into, what's that? Because right now they doing the 5G. They say with the 6G, your phones and your computers can read your mind, which I think they're already doing it, because you can be thinking about buying something or something that you need, right? And you can go to like any website or a social media site, and what you were thinking of would be right there, all right? And they'll be trying to sell it to you. It happened to me multiple times, and I know other people that it have happened to, man. So they're already doing this, okay? That's why I got this scripture right here. This is Isaiah 47:10. It says, "For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said that none seeth me," right? And we do see you, all right? First of all, Yahweh Bashim shall see you. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me, right? And that's a perverted thing, all right? Or that's him what? Trying to be like the Most High. Let's read that last part again. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me, right? And that's him trying to be like the Most High, all right? And I'm pretty much sure, all right, with something that's able to, read your mind or whatever, it's probably doing other things to your mind, They probably can actually, send wicked thoughts to your mind. I know they can send different frequencies to you, all right, to disturb your sleep, through the internet. So if you got the internet and your sleep is always being broken, all right, that's probably the reason, right? It's a page, what's that, in this book called Behold the Pale Horse. All right, dude was an ex-CIA agent, which they ended up killing the dude, but he was going into on how they were sending silent signals, all right, to basically torture you, man. Basically these people are at war with you. But also in the process, these devils is trying to build themselves up to be the Most High. So let's read this. And this lesson won't be long, a couple scriptures. It says, "We are rapidly barreling towards a world where mind reading will be real, but it won't be people with Professor X like telepathy, holding two fingers to their temples and closing their eyes as they attempt to decode your thoughts. It's a technology, mind captioning, a technique that can turn brain activity into detailed text descriptions or what a person is thinking, essentially providing running commentary on a person's thought in real time." You see? They're already doing this, man, because you can think something, all right, and you can go to any media site, and guess what? They'll be reading or whatever you was thinking, right? It'll pop up on that site. I've seen it plenty of times. Developed by researchers from Japan, of California, Berkeley, and Japan's NTT Communication Science Laboratories. Tech combines artificial intelligence models and MRI brain scan to essentially decode thoughts. They say it works as detail in science advances is that the first an AI model digests over 2,000 short video clips, right? That's why it says, man, see, it's written, right? It says that it's nothing that can be hid from these heathens, man. Mainly the so-called white man, right? This is Ezekiel 28:3. Right, matter of fact, and this goes into it too. The same aspect as what him trying to be God. Let's start from 2. It says, "Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thou heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am, Yahweh, and I will sit in the seat of Yahweh in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not the Most High. Though thou set thou heart as the heart of Yahweh. You see? Because look, only the Lord can, read your mind. Only the Lord know your thoughts, Only the Lord know your deep, darkest secrets, man, or the things that you struggle with inside your head, Only Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai know that. But look, he wants to be like the Most High. It says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel, and there is no secret that can hide from thee. So you see, so the Lord, this is one of his, I would say part of his blessings, that the Lord gave him. All right, and what he's weaponizing it. Everything is a weapon to this devil. All right. What's that? Genesis, right? The blessing of Esau. His blessing was what? The sword. Now what? He done figured out how to weaponize air, water, the food, hell, the damn internet. What else he done weaponize? Hell, he weaponized the hell. You can't even get no box. He done weaponize women against men. Everything is a weapon with this dude, man. He got everything at war with each other, man. It says, but thou art wiser than Daniel. And Daniel didn't have no understanding of AI technology. Thou art wiser than Daniel, and there is no secret that they can hide from thee. You see? So let's go back. Developed by researchers from the University of California, Berkeley, Japan's NTT Communication Science Laboratories, and tech combines artificial intelligence models and MRI brain scans to essentially decode thoughts and say it works as, which I already read that. It says, the way it works as detail in science advances is that first, an AI model digests over 2,000 short video clips, learning to prepare visual content with written captions that produces what the teams called a meaning signature for each clip, essentially a digital fingerprint of its narrative. Then another AI learned to match those meaning signatures to actual brain scans for volunteers who watch the same videos. Once trained, the decoder can look at a new brain scan and predict what a person is seeing and describing it in the sentence that are often startlingly accurate. In one test, a participant watched a video of someone leaping off a waterfall. The AI first guess was spring flow. See, and this is what they just telling us now. They already doing this. A fine refinements later is landed on a person jumps over a deep waterfall on a mountain ridge. Not perfect, but close. Across trials, the system correctly identified the correct video from 100 options half the time. You see? So they 50-50 with of them guessing your thoughts. Let's grab this scripture. This kind of reminded me of the book of Psalms 139, because he wants to be the Most High, right? Or is it one? Right. Okay. This is him. This is what he wants to be like. Psalms 139:1. O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my down sitting and my uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off. You see, that's what he want to do. All right, he want to know what you're thinking at all times. He want to know how you feeling. Okay, and that chip, that's gonna play that's gonna play a big part with what this devil is trying to do. Okay, it says, for there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thou hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is too high that I cannot attain unto it. Whether I go from the spirit or whether I shall flee from thy presence. If I ascend into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. Same thing with this. That's what this devil want to do, man. All right. Hey, he even got it right. With these TVs, right? You got a TV in your room, right? They watching you sleep. They can basically turn the camera on your TV, and guess what? They can watch you sleep. Even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be as light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but night shineth as day, and the darkness and the light are both alike unto thee. All right, and this is what Esau even wants to be like. For thou hast possessed my reins, all right, or what, your mind or your thoughts, you know. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret and curiously wrought lower parts of the earth. Thy eyes did see my substance, yet being imperfect, and in the book of all my members was written, which is the continuance or fashion. And this is talking about him being born, you know, and basically the Lord just guiding him through life, you know. This is what King David is basically writing about. But this is what Esau Edom wants to do, you know. He wants to be this is the way he wants to govern your life. Like it says, hold on. Let me go and stop right there. All right, this is Sirach 18:3. It says, let's start from 2. Start from 1. He that liveth forever createth all things in general. The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but he, who governeth the world with the palm of his hand. You see, and that's what the so-called white man want to do. Now, when I read that sometimes, when it says, well, he governed the world with the palm of his hand, I automatically think about on how he want to put the chip in the palm in our hand, you know. That's how Esau want to govern the world, you know. He want to govern the world through the palm, or govern the people through what? The palm of what? Our hands. All things obey as well, for he is king of all, and by his power divided holy things among from the profane, right? But you get what I'm going with that. This is what Esau Edom wants to be like, you know. This is how he wants to rule the world, okay? So with that, give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Also salutations to all the Akim out there, wishing is true. And also shalom to the rest of the whole full elect. Peace.